Hello everyone, my name is Joe Scorson, channel is called Ethernet Wink, and in today's video I'm going to be bringing you guys some stocks that I'm watching into this next week. And it's because I'm trying out a new strategy and it's been working well. And so now I kind of want to go through and show some of the stocks I'm finding and why I'm looking at them and why I think that they're attractive. So I have four, I picked out for this video. And I'm also going to do an analysis of SPY afterwards and just talk about overall market condition, because the way that the strategy that I'm thinking of it working is to pretty much try and predict the SPY. If it's going to be neutral to bullish, I'm going to try and be in something to trade. If it's going to be bearish, I'm just going to sit on my hands. And in the way that I'm going to choose my plays, I might put that out here that just scared me. I might put that out here in some time depending on how well it actually ends up working. So, like I said before, I have four stocks, then the SPY. So we're going to start off here with the first company I'm choosing, which is RH. Now for all of these, I'm going to start on the daily time frame, and then I'm going to go down to the 2 hour, I'm going to go down to the 1 hour, depending on the name at the lowest point. Now, how do I trade? What perspective am I looking at this at? Well, I'm a quick swing trader. So I'm not in any of these names, by the way, full disclosure. Not in anything that I'm going to show in this video. And so, but let's say I am in RH right now, right? Let's say I get in, let's say I got in at this line, right? 244.16, right? What am I looking at? What am I looking for? Well, I actually probably wouldn't be in this line because the RR between 237 and 247 isn't great from 244. So let's say I buy, I don't know, man. This is a great example. Let's say I am in at 244. Let's say I am. Let's say I get a bad entry. Let's say I'm in at 244. What would I look for? Well, I would look for 247, and I might take a little bit off, a little bit off. And then I would take probably the whole position or leave very little in at 257. And now what percentage gain would that be if I got in at the line to there? That'd be 5%. And because RH is a expensive company, like expensive shares, it would be $13 a share. That's the kind of trading I would take. And actually, when you look at it with that perspective of 244 to 257, 5% gain, or 244 to 237 to stop yourself out, 2.76% loss, that's actually a great RR. So in fact, that trade actually doesn't sound too bad. Anyways, like I said before, starting on the daily, and I'm going to be going into the 4 hour, but I want you guys to all know the context of how I'm looking at these names. I'm looking at them in the sense of quick swing trades. So we're in this demand zone I have marked out right here of where there's a lot of levels that you could draw, but overall it tends to bounce in this area. And now the main reason I like it is because not only is, I'm going to make this a little bit smaller, is not only the oscillator down here, squeeze momentum one. I found this from Options Millionaire on YouTube. I saw this indicator and I like it a lot. I'll link him in the description. But what I really like about it is this doji candle right here, this reversal candle, because it is at the lows and it is a pretty looking candle, especially with that big green bar afterwards. You could even trade this in a way of, what's the high of this candle? The high is 248.70, so you could even play break of that, target 257, kind of like an inside bar kind of thing. But like it's like a prettier inside bar, this trade, because we see this long leg doji, this buying pressure at the low. Of course, let's say like this is a doji right here, but it's at the top. This is signaling reversal to the downside. This is a doji. It's at the bottom. It's signaling the reverse to the upside. Is how I'm looking at this, and that is the kind of the zhuzh, like the brand to all these trades, and how I'm looking at them and why I like them. So here's RH on the daily in the demand zone, nice little inside bar doji setup. If we go down to the 4 hour, we can see big push right there. It tried to, now it's retracing. It could come back and run up a little bit more, meet this resistance and meet this 20-day SMA on the 4 hour, and that would be a pretty good level to take some off. On the 2 hour, we see pretty much the same exact thing, except the 218 is already there. So on the 2 hour, when I'm actually looking to enter something like this, I would look really on like a 30-minute, just to see what everything's really looking to be doing to enter, or I would just enter because of a longer time frame. But we see it's being rejected right now by that 20. This box isn't really to be taken literally with the level, but we see that the 20 moving average and 20-day moving average is rejecting off of it. So I would just like to see a break and hold that. That would also be a confirmation for the long lead energy on the daily with that inside bar, and that would be pretty nice upside to 257. That is our H. The second stock on the list I have is TOST. TOST, same idea with the doji at the lows. Very nice pattern, or very nice indicator. And we're also in this downward channel right here. So we could see, if we do break out of this, we'd be breaking 1783 as well, and we would probably be overtaking the 200-day. So if we take all of that, that would show some extreme strength if you have a long time horizon and the Fed doesn't crash the market. I would say 2130 is a good price target, but I'm a quick trader, so if anything, I would like to just get in at the low or the confirmation off this candle, and I would take it off up here, maybe. That's what I would do, because I hate volatility. I like predictability in my trades. So I like predictability and I like RR, because think about it. What's my stop? A break of this support, right? So that'd be 4%. What's my reward? Oh, 4%, 1-to-1. Not bad, not bad. And a scenario like this, just don't go too crazy on the size because of how close you are to getting stopped out. You know what I mean? Or actually, you could say that either way, but don't go too crazy on the size because of what you want your reward to be. You can go crazy on the size because of what you would like to get stopped out at. It's very close to your entry. That's a very good thing to look at when you're trading, is if you can stop yourself out very close to your entry. In this case, we can, because this candle and the support would fail. That'd be the end of the trade. But if the candle and the support works, we could see even more. So that's the idea with that. If we do break out of the channel, then that would be great. There's this huge gap we could fill up here. The gap would get filled at 24.88. The company is good. You know what I mean? Last year they did 2.73 billion in revenue. Still a money losing company, but is what it is. Target prices are above it. And yeah, depending on the time horizon for you, this one could be very good. But just for a quick trade like that, it looks very promising with this nice little candle right here. So actually, I have to go down to the other time frames. So on the 4, we see it trying a little bit to get up to this resistance, but it just fails early on. Comes down. Now we're seeing it try to retrace back up, and right here we see it just happen. Actually, no, I would say that we see it come up to the resistance right here, and this is kind of just like So you know how in uptrends everybody acts like oh it's just a dip, like it's okay, it's gonna keep on running. The same thing for bear trends, just in reverse. You know what I mean? Like it works the same way, but for shorts. Like if I'm in a short position right here and it pops up, that's just like the dip buy, but for shorting. You know what I mean? I'm not scared of that, and it comes back down, then it would be a nice cover. But so if we do retake this, that will let me know that the bear trend, this little one right here, is over, and we could start to look for a higher price. That one's decent. It's not my favorite. That one's decent. Next one, ULTA. Now this one, oops, I need to try to add something. This one, I did not think that happened to ULTA, right? Let me get rid of these ads. Okay. I did not think that this happened to ULTA. I don't know why. I didn't hear about it. I didn't expect to see it. Nothing. And we can see back here when ULTA comes down, she comes down. You know what I mean? But up here, very, very weird. We do have a hammer candle at the low, which is something that I like. But is this downtrend really done? You know what I mean? Because how far is it away? It's still about 6% away from the 100-day moving average, so maybe it is done. Who knows? But she would have to work pretty hard. On the 4-hour, it gets a lot prettier, because we can see here that hammer candle becomes a bull harami right after that, and that's really nice to look at. But again, RR on this one, not the best, because you're not so much in the middle of this. Actually, it's still about $5 each way, but just something that I really want to watch and not trade so much yet, because of course I got marked this level down here because if ULTA comes down to 480s, take my money. I think that if it comes down to 480s, we meet that 200, 480s, boop, 490 out of there. You know what I mean? That's how I would play it. But right now, I'm just like to watch it. If nothing, if I never get in this and it kind of pops back up and meanders back up to 560, then fine. You know what I mean? It's always another trade. I'm talking about 4 stocks right now, but I didn't think this happened to ULTA. It's very nice to look at. I wish I got into this, but but I didn't know about it until I started looking at them for this video. But and on the 2 hour, we pretty much see the same exact thing. So downtrend, inverted hammer candle at the bottom, my indicator for reversal, and now we see in the nice green candle come back up. I would like to see it break the high of this hammer candle, which was 507.08, before we see any more, before I have confidence to enter, because this one, there's a lot of it. There's a lot of things over its head. So let's say you do enter this with the intent to get stopped out at at a break of the support, so 1% loss, and about not even really a 1% gain, a 0.8% gain. But then if you come back to about the 520s, that's a 3% gain. But having that kind of target on something with this much overhead is a little crazy. But this daily and the weekly, of course, is something that I feel like we should all be paying attention to, because if it comes back into the fours, that could yield some good opportunities. Next one is Autodesk. I have a lot on this one. So I have 2 lines and 3 supply zones and 1 demand zone, and a few things for a little wedge. Because the first thing I looked at when I saw it was this right here, but we don't really have one overhead too much. This is kind of the best thing that we got. And then we see there's a little one in here as well, and a big gap because we still haven't filled it. We would need to fill it at 217, so there is still a gap there. If we do break out of this, that would be very impressive, and I would think that at least 207 to 210 would be imminent. But it doesn't look like it's very promising. I wouldn't get in it right now because we don't have any confirmation on direction. It hasn't broken out of any direction. The way I would play this would be to wait for it to come back down to 192, maybe coming down here, take some off at 199, see if it keeps on coming up. But if you would be in right now, a break of that supply zone and break of the demand zone to enter would be about 4.5%, and a break into this supply zone would be about 6%, which is a good risk to reward, especially because I would not be that upset averaging down here. Down here, it would totally mean that the wedges are out of discussion, but it also means that I could get my average cost down a lot. This one is kind of those ones you gotta wait for more, because maybe we bounce around in here a little bit. Maybe it just kind of ends up going sideways and breaking out of the top, which we of course know that isn't a breakout. But maybe we see stuff go sideways, maybe we see it bounce around, maybe we see it dip, go up. We're just waiting for the confirmation. We don't need to rush our trades at all. We just need to put ourselves in good situations with good RR and with a healthy market condition. So those are the 4 names. I'm not done yet. I forgot to go to the 4-hour again. So yeah, here we see a inverted hammer at some resistance. That's not what I would like to see. If I'm someone looking to go short trades, I would be short in this green candle right there. Right after that, that looks pretty promising for it to come back down. That would also be a great level to buy based on these technicals. But yeah, not looking pretty too much. We do have more volume in the green candle, but it's also just towards the end of the day. Yeah, because actually that is a red candle at the end of the day. Right here at the resistance, we see a nice fat red one. Could call it a Harami. I wouldn't, because kind of just, again, looks like like taking a breath of the downtrend. But we'll see what happens on this one. If it does come down, it would look very nice, because even, let me go back to the 4-hour, so it'll look a little bit better. Let's say it does come down, and you get the God entry at 192 and 192.30. For it to break through the supply zone, it would be about 3 3/4, and for it to come back up to this resistance, it would be about 5%. So that's a pretty good IRR. And also to get up to the supply zone, not even break into it, it'd be 9. That's a pretty good trade. So with that all being said, let's take a look at the SPY. Futures did open. I'm going to get this on the daily for a second, but futures did open. ES is up 0.6. Actually, let's just go and look on here because I don't know if my trading view is slow. Here are the current levels for the futures. Nice little open right there. I actually swung SPXL over the weekend, so that could be a good sell in the morning. And I'll also talk about that after I talk about SPY, why I decided to take that. But first, let's look at SPY on this daily. Wow, we got a lot of things overhead, but we got news as well. Actually, let me see where we would be if, I know that's not how it works, but I want to know what it would be at if it did open up plus 0.6. It would be about 392. It would be still be inside the candle. So we wouldn't have any sort of confirmation yet because this is a pretty beautiful inside bar. What I would be looking at is a break of 39.40, the high of this candle to go long, or a break of 38.999 to go short. And the tops and lows of this candle can be very conservative targets, and or other levels you may decide to draw. I only have this one demand zone on here to keep it nice and pretty and nice and cohesive because these moving averages are really at crazy levels for this. Because we do see a little rising support right here. We see that we're making higher lows every time. But the little bonk on the head that we got from that 20 is perfect. And we got a double bonk right now on this one from the 100 and the 200. We're a little bit above the, actually no, we're not above the 200. And then we got the 50 right overhead. We're in a demand zone though, and we are making a bit of a megaphone, as we can see here. But the news will dictate it all. You know what I mean? So it doesn't matter really what the technicals are. There was so much UBS and Credit Suisse news over the weekend. That was going to take precedence over technicals. Going into the 4 hour, you can see here, this is actually, I actually had just looked at this. We can see a little bit of a bear flag right here. We of course know what will happen in the mornings before this really opens, but if we do see it drop down, that's a pretty nice short right there from the bear flag. I don't want to light it up right now. I should just chart on the futures. I'll look at that as well, just to take a look because I got you guys here. Next one, down to the 2 hour. We can see pretty much the same thing. Yeah, we're just in this demand zone right now, waiting for confirmation. On the SPY, we have a little bit less information if we were to go to the future, because actually we delete all these drawings. I wonder if the megaphone would even look right on this. Yeah, it would. Yeah, so you know what I mean? We're not even, actually this isn't even an inside bar on this, on the futures charts. And this is barely even really a megaphone on the futures charts, but we're gonna draw it out anyways. Yeah, so this is what we got right now on the futures. And we are just really wedged in between a lot of areas right here. On the futures, we're above the 200 day. But I'm super curious to see what comes from this because we get a lot overhead and a lot from the bottom. So whatever gets overtaken will certainly not be the least that we see. So there is my my analysis on the 4 stocks I'm watching for this week and the SPY. As I said before, I'm swinging SPXL over the weekend. SPXL is basically if the S&P moves 1%, SPXL moves 3%. 3 times shares. See, it moved 3.45% right there. And the SPY moved 1.55% in that day. So, and it's also a lot cheaper. So if you want to get small size and go for a swing, this is a great vehicle for you. TQQQ is the other one that you could watch. I day traded this one. Or TQQQ. I day traded this one. We can see it's in that bull flag. This is actually a great one to look at. I should have brought up the NASDAQ. Who cares about the SPY? But I like the NASDAQ here, honestly. Let me see what it looked like on the futures because we got that 200 day for confirmation. And I know that I said before that dojis like this aren't good at the high, and I still believe that they're not, but of course context makes it all work out. Do I not have NASDAQ futures? E-mini NASDAQ futures, perfect. Okay, so let me draw out that flag again. Oh, okay, on futures. Are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me? This looks pretty nice. This looks pretty nice because it looks like we have upside confirmed, but but it's not so much there yet, if that makes any sense in the world, because we could come back down and tap that, but it'll probably be 30 13 248. Just looking at right there, looking at right here for a really crazy long target. And yeah, but of course we would need to see a break of that top and this top before we have any confirmation. And the levels that I would like to see it hold are, funny enough, where it is right now, right in that little area, and right down there. Or just some quick levels. And we see that doji held that low. Oscillator makes it look good. Everything else looks pretty nice. But back to the SPXL trade. Very simple ideology for it. I didn't think we were going to have a down Friday, down Monday. Down Friday, down Mondays are more rare than you think, and they signify a lot more weakness in the market than you may think. They're not very common, and I simply didn't think that we were going to have one, so I figured I'd try my hand with some small size, see how see how right it would be. Plan is to sell this tomorrow morning for whatever loss or whatever gain I would have. It's small enough so that way the loss wouldn't be debilitating, and big enough so that way the gain would be nice. But yeah, that's pretty much it for all of that. I'm going to try and start uploading these videos every Sunday because of the criteria I'm trying to find in my stock picking for these quick swing trades. I also, last week, over the past week and a half, 2 weeks, I made 11% on a crowd trade. You can see here, beautiful, beautiful candle. This one was a little bit muddier though because I got in before the earnings. Didn't sell on this pop because I wanted 140. Ended up averaging down and then just sold it the whole way up. This is a pretty short right now. I'm happy I'm all out. I got all out of around 136. And on CrowdStrike and CRM, both trades, I made over. CrowdStrike I made over 10%. CRM I made 10% profit. And so I would be happy to walk you guys through these trades, why I took them, why I stayed in them, and what my favorite things about them were. But yeah, that's for the next video. If you guys have any requests for things for me to code on Quant Connect, leave them in the comments. I'd be happy to do them. If anybody leaves a request for a stock, I'll pick one at random and do it in the next video. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I picked stocks and I swing them quickly because I don't think that the market condition would be that bad. Oh, why is that? I'm just looking at my recording software. That looks weird. I had something else up so that way I would remember what stocks I wanted to look at. I just looked at OBS. That looks funny. Alright, but yeah. I pick stocks to trade them quickly, and I do it based off the market conditions. If you guys want to see more of this content, leave a like, subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.